What's up, Bridal Babes? I hope you're ready for another exciting episode of your favorite wedding podcast, Bridal Buzz. I'm your host, Kat, and if you've been following us on social media, you know we're making some big changes around here at Bridal Buzz. So this is actually going to be the last episode we record here in this studio. I know, tears, say your goodbyes, but we are going to be bringing some bigger and better things here. So stay tuned for 2.0 of Bridal Buzz, okay? But today's episode, we're actually going to be taking a look back and listening to a piece of advice from each of the couples that have been in this studio over the last year. So you're going to hear a lot of wedding advice, relationship advice, and just overall how to enjoy the process of planning your wedding. So with that, let's get started.
When you are a fiance, like, it is such a small moment of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, with just wedding planning in general, it's gonna be a lot. Even if you have a planner from the start to the end, you're gonna be overwhelmed at moments.
Even if you're in the industry and host a podcast with weekly episodes.
You're still gonna be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So it's just enjoying it. Remember that it is your day, it is y'all's day.
Don't live up to other people's expectations.
Yeah, because you will never live up to the expectations.
That is the biggest regret I have with our wedding. I apologize to her 100 times.
I wanted to
probably.
elope.
Yes.
A small intimate wedding.
I'm sorry. Again.
It's okay. He tells me sorry almost every week.
Oh, and I can tell he's genuinely
Oh yeah. We were 6 months into wedding planning. He's like, I should have said. I was like, yes.
And don't get me wrong. I don't regret a single thing.
And eloping is
about
still
the
there's
wedding
complications.
we
You
had.
know, you have to figure out things that are
just
international now, potentially in language barriers, and there's
there's things, but yes, it is. You truly have to just. Whatever at the end of the day you think you guys are going to want, whatever it's going to make you happiest when you look on the day, that is the most important.
Just don't over stress about certain things. I mean, and it all may look chaotic even up into the day of the wedding, but honestly, as many moving parts as we had, everything just flowed so nice, and it was so smooth, and I couldn't ask for a better planning team. And then the venue and everything. But yeah, I think you definitely need somebody, planning yourself is going to be very difficult. You need somebody, like a team of people, and we had a great one. So, and that's definitely a must.
I agree with him. You can have just as OCD as I am. I want everything by the book, and this is what's going to happen. And of course, my wedding planner was the same way. I mean, at one point during our reception, we were an hour late. We were an hour behind of entertainment, our dance, this, that, and we somehow picked it up.
Wow.
And so everything might not go as planned,
right.
But nobody's going to know.
Yeah, no.
It's all going to work out.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to get upset. And, something could fall off prior to the wedding. Something can fall off the day of.
My advice would be, do what you want. There was a lot of stress. So yes, we're talking about all the good things. There was a lot of stuff that went down as well. And at the end of the day, you're going to be upset if you didn't get those pink roses, or if you didn't get the dress that you wanted, or you wore a black tux and not the brown one you wanted. Do what you
forgot
want.
to advocate at a certain point.
Yes, advocate for yourself, because there's going to be families, there's going to be friends, there's going to be bridal experts, there's going to be everything telling you what to do or suggesting what you do, and just do what you want. It's gonna come out fine. It's am I making the right decision? Yeah, because it's what you want to do. It's okay, just figure out how to implement it and it'll work.
I had a small element in my wedding that didn't happen because of a COVID situation, which you know what are you can't cry about. You just got to move on. The show must go on, and everything's going to work out. And the key is to communicate with your partner. I did a lot of the planning and the ideas, and I ran it by him. Sometimes he wouldn't remember what I even talked about. So I would get really frustrated. Like, babe, I talked to you about this.
This is important.
But there's so much going on that repeat. You just have to keep reminding your spouse, hey, this is what's going on. This is what we're going to do. Do you have any ideas? What do you think about this? And just communication, and just letting things happen on their own, because it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
There's going to be things that you're going to get annoyed with, and who cares? The day of, I don't think a bride ever really cares. It's the next day where I'm like, okay, this didn't.
Yeah.
But what does it matter? Nobody knows.
People are still raving about the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And everybody just thinks it went, absolutely perfect.
I think just take it in. Like, take everything in, because everything happens so fast.
Yeah.
And I know things can get really stressful, but I guess, like, it got stressful, like, for us, but in the end, like, I knew that I was going to be marrying my person, and that was all that matters.
Right.
And just don't sweat the little things, and just,
She tells me that all the time.
yes, don't sweat the little things.
That would be mine, is like when you're debating on the little things, like ask yourself, like, will anyone remember this? Like, we were debating on chargers for the table, and then I was like, will anyone remember if there was a charger there?
No.
Like, so we didn't do it. Like, we were just little things, like, should we have aisle markers? And
I don't even remember if we had aisle markers. Like, did we have them?
we didn't, because so it's just like, if you're debating on, like, should you do this thing, it's like, will they remember it? If not, like, save some bucks, save your, like, stress over it. One less thing you have to worry about.
Put it into something else that you're, like, really passionate about, like
Yes.
alcohol.
Exactly. Yes.
They will remember the alcohol.
They will.
They did, and they
Yeah.
had a blast.
Yeah.
Like,
It was
everyone
fun. It
had
was so
a
much
great
fun.
time.
Aw, I love that.
I say the first thing, like, if you enjoy it, like, enjoy being engaged, because, like, that's a new stage. Like, you went from dating to being engaged. Like, enjoy that new stage. Enjoy getting to be like, oh yeah, this is my fiance. Like, just enjoy it and get to know you. Make sure you work on getting to know each other better every single day. Like, just make that a focus. I know, like, even over our 3 years of engagement, like, I can honestly say from the day that I proposed, like, I wasn't ready to be married, even on the day I proposed. But, like, I told her this too. Like, I was ready to be married the day we got married. And so it was the right time. Like, I grew up a lot. I'm ready to be a father in the future, hopefully. And I'm amazing and happy to be a husband.
I would say, get quotes on everything, like the photographer, the videographer, find a venue, the food. Because we did one thing and then, all right, let's on to the other. Onto the other. Instead of trying to get everything, like, all right, this is how much a wedding is really going to cost, instead of what I'm thinking it was going to cost.
The money guy. I'm in the same place right now where I'm like, oh, I already committed to, like, a lot of vendors, but I'm like, oh, like, I don't know how to budget for the rest of the everything left. So that's a really good piece of advice, honestly. It's just like, get a gauge of how much everything might cost and go from there. Love it.
It was kind of hard to gauge, though, because of inflation and supply chain shortages and things like that. So certain services that would have cost less ended up costing a lot more, because these are people's livelihoods. These are people who are, coming out of a situation where the pandemic shut down the whole wedding industry and vendors,
events, all of it.
So I completely understood from that standpoint. Was a little caught off guard by certain prices, but
I'd probably say first pray about it and trust in the Lord, because that door needs to be open from Him, and you could put your trust in Him. So I would really think just pray about it first, and everything will go smoothly from there. And even if it's not, like we said, our proposal was it was perfect, bit of a hiccup. But there was hiccups, but it was still perfect,
and that's what made it perfect.
Yes, so either way, you make the perfect moment.
I would say too, to make the best use of the time. Obviously, like with the pandemic happening and everything, I think it's made us realize how many blessings we have, and it's put our lives in perspective. And I think that a lot of the times, maybe you can be a little bit, that this is the person you want to spend your life with, but maybe you're a little bit undecisive. Maybe you don't have enough money or whatever, right? X reasons. But I think that just make the best use of the time, because we don't have tomorrow guaranteed. And right now, this is the moment that we have given by God. Let's make the best use of it for Him. And I think that together, if that person that you want to be with, that together you can do more than what you can do on your own.
Definitely.
And I don't know. That's what I think.
That's awesome.
I think the first thing is don't stress about it.
The second thing is be involved with the wedding industry. Like, I interact a lot with y'all's Instagram, but you learn a lot from it. You learn a lot from podcasts. And then I'm always in tune, like, with my vendors. Like, when they post things, like, I'm always trying to talk to them, see what they're doing, because that's how you connect with them. If you're not connected with your vendors, they're not going to be able to provide you what you're asking for, and just give them free reign. Like, they're creative for a reason.
100%. And they're people who are relationship driven. Typically in the event industry, you care a lot about people. And so forming those actual relationships with your vendors is only going to benefit you and your wedding.
Like, we got a Christmas card from our florist. So just be in tune with all your vendors, and it makes it a lot easier.
Wow. Anything from the groom's point of view?
I mean, I guess, I've been kind of involved with everything she's doing. She kind of took the reins on everything, but really just, looking around. So, we went and looked at several venues. We went and looked at several, caterers and stuff like that. She definitely had one picked out, but we still went and just took the time just to, sometimes, like, the one that we ended up going with, they didn't have the same one as this one. So really looking at your wedding party and kind of what's going to help everyone. So.
What a fun process too. Eating food, looking at flowers, smelling flowers.
That's
a celebration.
Yes, it's a celebration. Like, have fun with it and be happy. Because there were now I look back and there were so many days I was stressed. I had to take a day off work because I was so stressed out. Like, I couldn't function. I was like, I need to get things done for my wedding. And I spent a whole day doing, like, wedding tasks. I'm like, wow, I feel so much better because I got that done. But, like, wow, I had to take a day off work to,
wedding planning
relieve myself.
It's a full-time job. And
So my advice is don't stress out over things you don't need to be stressing out about, and do what you want.
Is there anything else you guys want to leave with the couples?
Wedding day. The wedding day. Take it in.
Yeah.
It happens so fast.
I'm terrified about how fast it's going to go.
It's like you plan all this time for what, 3-5 hours?
Yeah. It was longer than that.
Right. But I'm just saying.
For what, 30 minutes?
But 30 minutes, that's it. No, it's just to really just take it in. And always, I would say, guys or women, it doesn't matter. People, anyone,
all out there,
everyone, just I would say take your partner and just step aside and look at everyone and everyone that's there for you. And it was great because, like, I told Christine, I was like, look at all these people that are here, like, for us. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was one of our favorite moments. We went upstairs because our venue had, like, a big staircase. We went up so I could change my shoes. And she was like, just take a minute, look down. And it was so cool to see, like, our childhood friends, like, our family, our coworkers, our bosses,
all having a good time.
Like, everyone together in one room, like, celebrating our love.
Seeing my mom, especially my mom, like, that was letting my mom see that all these people here supporting us, because just having my mom have that safe place to be like, wow, okay.
It was full circle, like, going from a secret to going from, like, look at everyone here, like, celebrating
all the
us.
support. Oh, y'all are gonna make me cry. I did not wear my waterproof mascara.
Well,
I remember our salsa dance. We did it to Pitbull, and it's different rehearsing with, a pre-recorded song than with a live band. So right before they introduced us to do our dance, I was backstage and I grabbed one of the waitresses. I said, will you just follow my lead, just dance with me just so I can rehearse this? And so she's dancing with me, and all of a sudden they just start the song and we're on the opposite sides of the stage, and I'm like running out. We missed our cue. And I just, like, from all of our dance and what we planned, we had to improvise everything. And he's like, how many times am I going to spin you? I was like, I don't know until I get dizzy. I don't know until people just come on the dance floor.
Like, where do these come from?
Like, I don't know what we're doing. So our coordinated routine was made up and was spontaneous.
Got thrown out the window, but
the whole routine, we're going to have to do it one day. But to actually prove to people we can do coordination.
But no, I mean, it's just.
And our dance instructor was there too, and she was like, "You know what? You were fine.
Yeah,
you just played it off.
Yeah,
nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
You just gotta go with the flow. Just,
You're the only one who knows.
It was really cute though.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Something it's gonna happen, and you just gotta go with the flow enjoy your wedding. And I think one thing I'd like to add is try not to drink too much until your reception.
Yeah.
Because you can miss out on so many elements, and we didn't have our first drink until after that salsa dance.
Wow.
Then we were downing them for sure. We took advantage of the bar. Yeah. But enjoy it, and you're going to take so many pictures, and you're going to see so many different people, and you don't want to be feeling not so great.
Yeah.
Really early on in the night.
Out of it.
Yeah. So, and make sure your bridesmaids don't drink.
Yeah, that's a very good
I had one crazy one that was probably drunk the whole time, and I was like, oh boy.
We love her.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what, YOLO, live your best life, but I'm like, just please stand up at the church. Like, please.
Do not fall over and do not break anything.
Right. But you're always gonna have the wild card, which it's fine. It's all part having a wedding.
Yeah, and that's why we get good planners that help us stay at peace the whole time.
Yep, for sure.
Oh, well, yeah.
And to his point of like getting to know each other every day, please do marriage counseling. Yeah. Like it's not a bad thing. It's literally just like telling each other how you communicate, how you love, your love language. Like, I really don't like when you do this, and because like you get down to the root of it and stuff like that. Like, it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean you're breaking up. Doesn't mean you're not meant to be together.
Exactly. It doesn't mean you have problems that would keep you from walking down the aisle.
We don't really have problems. We don't argue. Like, we're pretty good, but we took it anyway. We're like, that's why, or I'll do that better for you. And
we are huge advocates for premarital counseling here.
And you get a discount off your marriage license. To everybody who doesn't know, those things cost money. And it's a little expensive, so that takes money off. But we took a free marriage counseling course over like videos, like online.
Oh wow.
And legitimate counseling session that took money off our marriage license.
It was an amazing course.
And it was very good, and I'm so glad we did it. And I think that would be my advice: is marriage counseling and do what you want.
I guess my piece of advice is it blows by so fast. I'm lucky because I feel like we enjoyed every single moment, and it was perfect. Usually people have these nightmare reception stories, but it was a perfect experience. I got to see everybody, talk to everybody, dance, enjoy myself, be in the moment, enjoy him. But at the end of the day, it's the moments that count. Yeah. I don't remember the color of the napkins, and the little piece of string that's tied around the whatever, it's
deciding between two types of string. It's
right. And, we're fortunate enough to have, the custom cocktails, which, by the way, was actually covered by the Hyatt. So we were able to pitch that idea, and they said, oh, yeah, we use what we have, already, and we can create a cocktail for you and make it nice for nothing extra. It wasn't anything crazy for them to do. I just got the signage, but it's not about the things. It's about the moments. And so if you are on a budget and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want a DJ or if I should, spend money on food from outside or try to find a venue that includes food, I would say focus on getting a wedding coordinator or a group, just because they know all the things that you don't know.
Yes.
They know all the questions that you're not going to ask. They know about contracts. They'll keep you on track if they're, a solid group, which I love Scarlet Rose events. So wedding coordinators, a DJ MC, because they keep the flow. Definitely not just a DJ who's going to bump jams, someone that can handle himself or herself on a mic.
Yeah. Don't just hire your neighborhood DJ. Like, make sure he knows how to do weddings.
Yes, exactly. So that, and then number 3, if you can't afford a videographer, a photographer.
Yes.
Who is, and all those 3, pay. What you pay is what you're going to get out of them. Mm-hmm. So be willing to make that investment, because those moments are irreplaceable.
Yeah.
And those are way more important than, what kind of flatware you have or the acrylic chairs that are like $40 a pop. They created those moments, and then these photos that Brittany Welch did. She's incredible, but we have those for life, and we're going to show those to our kids, and we're going to have them in albums, and
we're going to have them in this video.
Members, yes, we're going to have them in this video. But even family members are going to order prints and things like that. So focusing on the moments instead of the things.
I cried in the wedding. I bawled my eyes out.
Oh my gosh.
I bawled. Well,
when she sang.
Yeah, that's a special moment too, right? You sang a song to Christina.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Yes. And I actually sang this time. It didn't sound like a proposal. The proposal was terrible, but I
was a surprise, because I pretty much, I don't know, we both planned the wedding together, but I did a lot of like the planning.
She did a lot.
And she was very accepting. Like, okay.
Whatever you want. Yes.
Yes. But we flew in a singer from Nashville, and it's a long story, but my mom sent me this video of him, and I was like, who is this? And she's like, oh, I think this is his name. I found him on Instagram, and I slid into his DMs, and I was like, hey, I had just gotten engaged. I was like, can you play at our wedding? Like, I don't. And he was like, yeah, when is it? I was like, I don't even know. We didn't even have a date yet.
Yeah.
And then we got the date, and a year and a half later, and he still kept in contact, and he flew down. And,
wow.
Now he's one of our good friends. We're gonna go see him next month in Nashville.
Oh my gosh.
It was great singing with him. I love music, and he was totally down. He was like, yeah, let's do it. So he helped me. He helped me play the guitar too while I sang.
Nice.
I didn't cry like the wedding day. Like we had practice already, like at the rehearsals. So like I didn't have tears like going down the aisle. Like I talked myself out. I was like, nope, I'm not crying.
I did.
And so I didn't cry. And then when she got up as a surprise and sang, I bawled like water just like flowing, and
snot.
I was like, yeah, I told her I was like, I had snot, I had like tears, I had sweat because we had those alphabet letters, and they were so hot. I was right by it, and so it really caught me off guard, and it was like the sweetest moment. I was watching the video last night again.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
I felt a lot of pressure to like put on a big event or like a show or something like that, like just to, because I mean I'm a person that likes to, I'm very extroverted, likes to go out,
the host of the
the hostess with the mostest,
and I enjoy giving my friends and family and stuff a good time, but like I wish we would have been
a lot of pressure,
way more selfish about it, and just run away to Colorado and gotten married on a mountain or something.
I think it comes down to like when do you draw the line? Like if you start trying to people please with mom, and then there's like his mom, and then there's the grandmas, and then there's the sisters and the bridesmaids, and all these people start to have opinions, and it's at the end of the day,
and it's with everything. It's with what venue you're going to be at, how many people are you going to have, what food are you going to eat, it's just like every detail of it is where do you draw the line, and whose opinion do you take into consideration, and so that's just really truly think about what you want in your wedding day,
and take the time to just like
be engaged.
I mean,
take
like
time.
Both of y'all were saying, an engagement or being a fiance is
such a small part of your life,
of your life. Like, take a moment to enjoy those moments of like, to just stop and look at your partner, like take a night just to be like, yo, we're engaged, like
we're about to like really do this thing. No, it is true though.
The little moments and the big moments have to be celebrated.
Preach, Charlie.
I know, he's so good at that.
I'd say for the planning part, try to just enjoy the moment. Don't get too stressed out about the little details, and allow yourself enough time to plan that wedding.
Yes, definitely like setting a good amount of time for yourself to prepare for finances, for meetings, for anything that involves the wedding. Give yourself time. So that way, whatever situation you're in, it's not going to be a big deal if it's a dilemma.
Right.
If you can't pay for something because of bills, okay, I'll pay for it next week. Or I'll pay for it next paycheck.
Yeah, payment plans for contracts are definitely important to pay attention to.
Yes.
Like, I don't need everything in the same exact month, actually. That'd be nice if we could spread that out over a few months.
Right. My other bits of advice would be, don't be afraid to break traditions. Like, there's so many like time-honored like wedding traditions that like, because even like how she said, like we spent the night together. My mom even the week before was like, oh, so where are you going for the wedding night? Are you gonna come stay at home with us? Like, you're not supposed to see it. And I'm like no, like I'm gonna stay with like what, like like I've always heard like, oh, I hope it doesn't rain on our wedding day because that's bad luck. Like, and then it's like, like don't worry about stuff like that.
Oh, also advice: things are gonna go wrong. Things are gonna go wrong. There's a little couple things that went wrong, and I was like,
Other big advice too to mitigate stress: have a wedding planner. every woman out there who's like, oh no, you can't plan your wedding yourself. No, you can't.
I tried.
No, you can't. No, you can't. You cannot do it. No, you can't. You cannot do it.
Tell him, Kevin. Tell him.
You can't do it. Like,
because
that's why they have them.
Who's gonna open the doors for you? Who's gonna do this and this and this? Like, don't make it your mom's job.
Yeah.
Like, just even for a day, like hire the lady for a day, like something.
Yes, they're everyone's in the position that they're in, and if you have to have a wedding without a planner or a coordinator, still get married. But
of course,
like I feel the same way.
It's like
the wedding will be so much better, and your money will feel way more better spent.
Yeah. Worthwhile.
Yeah. When you have that planner there to make sure everything is going smoothly.
It also just took stress off us, because I know like whenever you're trying to search for vendors, or like you have a vendor, you're like, oh, do we email them back? And it's like felt good to be like, oh, tell the planner.
She's got it.
Tell the planner to email them, like, and we don't have to worry about it. And then it's like she'll be like, oh, they reached out and said this. Okay, cool. Answer them back. Like we don't have to worry about it. It's like one less thing. And then like as we get closer, we're like, oh, like, is this done? Is this done? And she's like, yeah, it's done. We got it.
Yeah. So like, Heather, glass slipper events.
Nice.
For instance, a combination of what I said and what he said. I got to the venue and she was like, I have to tell you something. And I was like, what? She was like, another makeup team showed up. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, you know, the person you did your first trial with? Yeah, they showed up. So I did 2 trials. First one, my makeup was good, but I wasn't feeling it. So I went with another company. But that first company showed up and I never paid them. I never signed a contract. I literally just did like $100 something trial with them for our engagement.
And they brought a whole
actually.
crew?
Yes. So imagine if I didn't have a coordinator, me going to the venue to that.
Yeah.
So to the point of,
can I help you?
Yeah. She handled that. They were gone by the time I got there. But she was like, I just wanted to let you know because it was a little funny. Like I was like, I never paid them. She's like, I know. And they just showed up. They also never followed back with me. That's also why I didn't pick them. Like after the trial, they didn't email me.
They just assumed?
Yeah, I guess. It was
crazy that they showed up without being paid. That's like the only vendor I've ever heard that would do that.
She was like, it was very awkward. Like imagine dealing with that awkwardness on your day. Like I didn't have to deal with that, you know? So
thank you for planners.
Yes. Shout out to Heather for dealing with that because I would have been like crazy little bridezilla little. If somebody showed up, I didn't even pay them and be like, what are you doing here?
It just creates like a buffer, like especially like on the day, like you said, like you didn't have to deal with that. Like, yeah, she told you after the fact, but it's already done. Like, if something like, oh, your photographer's late, like we shouldn't show up and just be like, where's the photographer? Like, our photographer's late. Like, oh my god, like she can just know that the photographer's late, and then when they get there, we figure it out after the fact. And that's why I got to hang out for 2 hours in the groom's room and do nothing, because I didn't have to have anything to do.
Yeah.
I really didn't. Like, when I showed up, they were like setting stuff up, but I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I was just like, oh yeah, don't ask me anything, because I'm gonna be like, yeah, put everything in the corner. Like, I don't know.
Sure. There you have it, Bridal Babes. Wasn't that amazing? So many rich pieces of advice. So much fun was had in this studio. I'm so grateful for each of those couples, every single person who has contributed and opened up and just, been vulnerable enough to share where they're coming from and how to help other future couples plan their weddings in the best and most peaceful way possible. So we're gonna keep that going in Bridal Buzz for the future. So stay tuned for what's to come. I cannot wait for you guys to see the new studio. And make sure you follow us on social media to stay tuned with all of our updates, all of our day-to-day activities, and of course, all of the best wedding advice. Subscribe to our channel, turn on those notifications, and we'll see you next time.